Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see the runner-up and Rookie of the Year balloting Baker Mayfield and the Cleveland Browns as they square off against second-year man Sam Darnold and the new-look New York Jets. Let's get up to the Jets' home opener in their 50th anniversary season of winning Super Bowl III. On the call, Brandon Godden.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Jets work their way onto the field, led by the number 3 overall pick in 2018, Sam Darnold. And during the offseason, Darnold was asked where he was looking to improve. He told everybody being more comfortable in the pocket. He looked back to the numbers from his rookie campaign, 17 touchdowns and 13 starts. So just imagine what a relaxed and more experienced Darnold might be able to accomplish with a stronger set of receivers now here in 2019. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. The offensive starters now for the Jets.
And our attention will be concentrated and centered on number 26, Le'Veon Bell. Remember, he sat out all of 2018, so it'll be interesting to see if he can shake off the rust and whether his fresh legs will carry him to new heights in New York.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Check.
Hauled in by Anderson, left side. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down. A look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. He finds his target as Crowder. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. 33 yards that time.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Again, Darnold. Crowder's got it over the middle. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. And between the last 2 plays, they've moved it over half the length of the football field. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurate.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's coming off a 3-interception performance last week, so certainly not how we wanted to start here.
Not at all, but this is where a quarterback gets tested. This is where we find out what he has underneath that jersey, because he had a bad game last week. Can he shake off a bad start to this one and start to perform at the level he expects?
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now 1st and 10 at their own 13. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. The numbers on the ground for Hunt a week ago. 14 carries, 51 yards.
And to me, the goal is the exact same thing as last week. Get him the ball early and often. I think he's got another big game in him in this one.
On second down now, it's Hunt. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Hey, Haywood!
Mayfield on 3rd and 2. He's got his tight end, David Njoku. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went up.
And his first carry, he loses the football. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
On first down, Darnold. It's caught by Quincy Enunwa. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down. Well, starting drive number 2 off on the right foot. Completion for the first down. Drive 1 is they had to be pretty frustrating because they moved the football. They just didn't get any points out.
Well, warm-up QB, too. Let's bring in the backup. I mean, my goodness, you take him downfield and you don't score points. You know I'm being totally facetious here, right? I'm just kidding. Nice first drive. Rarely do teams score on every single drive in a game. But they like what they did there. They just hope they can pay it off this time with some points.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Here's Darnold. And he comes back with one complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. They'll run here with a former Steeler. This is Le'Veon Bell. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. The numbers for Bell on the ground of the game last week. 16 carries, 55 yards.
Well, watching the film, we saw that things clicked pretty well for them in the running game last week. No reason to change in my mind. Continue to try and run the football. Give it to them early and often in hopes of breaking down the defense so some bigger gains result as the game goes on.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
We talk all the time about playmakers on offense, but let's face it, there are plenty of playmakers on defense, too. I think we just saw an example of one, didn't we? Not force that incompletion.
Yeah, he's a great corner. They got a couple of them on that side of the football. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And the lane closes quickly for Bell, and he did not make it. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, a piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive a little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
On second down and 4, Mayfield. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up third.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field, it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch it. Doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on second down.
Hey, box truck, box truck. 57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Let's go. Let's get this ball back. Run.
From the gun, Mayfield. And he's got his man. That's Landry. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That's a gain of nearly 40 yards on 3rd and medium to pick up the first.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Running from the gun, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say, we're going to build from the inside out. Because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game. And that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a 1st down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
On 2nd and a couple, Mayfield. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And the ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. They stay on the ground. This time it's Johnson. And he'll be stopped up at the line of scrimmage with a flag down. Let's check on the call. So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Hurry! Hey, alert 33. Let's go, D. Big C.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a 1st down due to the previous penalty.
Partners, a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back, Good job declining that penalty.
The kick by Joseph is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up. No balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Bell, and he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 31, Darnold into the hands of his receiver Anderson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. This quarterback now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Here's Darnold. Open man left side. That's the tight end, Herndon. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Darnold finding Anderson here and taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
On 1st down, it's Darnold. Out right here to Herndon.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. To the air again, Darnold. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Anunwa, the intended target. 1st quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block would be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
57 to Mike. 57 to Mike. Let's go, D.
Bravo.
57. Mike, 57. I got you, Pop. 57 to Mike. Watch 57. Switch, double.
Regular.
Now Mayfield. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. 23 yards the pickup there.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. On 1st down, they go right back to Hunt. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time. He's coming. He's coming. He's coming. We got double up. Double up. Point it right. Point it right. Point it right. 54's Mike. 54's Mike. Check, check. Watch 54.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Here comes the ball.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield looks to throw. He's got Njoku over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Trumaine Johnson. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. Past the 20. And it's a touchdown for the Jets. Ah, yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on it, not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while, to have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception.
For different teams.
Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a
too many
syllable
syllables. Yeah.
You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. We will have 2 weeks in the books once this one wraps up. More football coming your way, though, Thursday night. We start week 3 with a good one in the AFC South. Titans and Jags from Jacksonville. Kickoff for that one, 8:20 Eastern, 5:20 on the West Coast. And since we should have Marcus Mariota involved, 2:20 for our friends in Hawaii.
Let's go.
Back to it after the pick 6. Mayfield. Johnson's got it complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Browns on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Let's go, defense.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he's got this down to the 35. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's it. That's it. Big hit. Good. 180. 57. Bend it. Bend it. Hey, check 24. Check. Up. Hey, exit.
To throw again on second down. Mayfield caught left side. It's Beckham. 15 yards on the play. First down. This quarterback now 5 for 5 on the drive. He's responded after the interception. It's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They'll run it with Johnson. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch when they score and you see the excitement and then when they realize those points aren't going to count? Can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
Right there. 54. Right there.
Mayfield now on second down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
That grounding call could very well doom this drive. We'll see. They'll try again here, 3rd and goal.
Hurry. 54, Mike. 54, Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. So we got man. Mike's 50. Real. Mike's 54. Nice.
Working out of the gun. Mayfield. This is caught. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. David Njoku, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And New York set to take the field. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
58, Mike. I don't think you got it.
Throwing here on 3rd down. Darnold gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. Running back essentially being a receiver downfield.
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 44-yard line. Darnold to throw again. That one's complete to Tomlinson. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd and 5.
The Jets on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Just like that.
Throwing again is Darnold. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw, Darnold. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Now Darnold. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. Chris Herndon, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Jets are going to take the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is a defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That was very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Well, second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time. Third down here. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's a perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
Here's Mayfield. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down.
There was no secret who they were trying to get the football to.
Well, no, they went to him on first down, second down, third down, all three incomplete.
Yeah, and when you're unable to connect and you force it in that direction, all you're doing is giving confidence to the defense. They feel like they're really hurting you in a big way.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Jets will take over first and 10. And New York set to take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with it?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Christian Kirksey came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Here's Darnold. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Landry now on the return. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over first and 10. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build on. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Blowing that play up was Henry Anderson.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Throwing on second and long. Mayfield over the middle to Beckham. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, point it right. 57 to Mike. Hey, Steve stick.
From the gun, Mayfield. That's complete, right around the 8. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. A 4-receiver set here. 3 to the left, 1 to the right, 2nd and 6.
Hey, Wood.
To throw, Mayfield to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks for those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Alert! Up! Hey, let's go!
Throwing, Mayfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. David Njoku, as the first half is winding down, and the Browns are within an extra point of tying this thing up.
I don't think it's any state secret to know what they were saying before the start of this drive. Let's go and punch one in the end zone and go into the halftime feeling a heck of a lot better about ourselves. Let's go get this done.
Yeah, tie things up, and then you got a brand new ball game. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. And New York set to take the field. Now, we're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Myles Garrett, make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a time ball game here heading to break. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin up at...
And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. This is fielded at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. First half showed us some pretty good offense. Tie game. We'll see what the second half brings.
It'll be interesting because I think both sides feel pretty good about what their offenses are doing. Got to wonder what adjustments are being made defensively to try and get a spark and maybe slow down the other side.
But here, do you change up anything on this opening drive?
Not offensively, you don't. You got everything going your way. You've probably prepared for maybe some change-ups you might expect, but overall, you like what your game plan's showing you.
Hey, Alert, 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 alert. 6-6, pull it hard.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. Big Leonard Williams there on the stop.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1. And all of a sudden here, it's third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
57's Mike. Mike 57.
Mayfield now. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Following the penalty, Chubb. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. Second down coming up.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Now on 2nd and 13. Mayfield. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. And give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone.
57. Mike 57.
A first down throw for Mayfield. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. He's lucky to be getting that one back.
After what they've done with him all day long, with all the targets trying to go after him, he's obviously gotten smart, and his pride has kicked in. Made a terrific play.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
And he's got this inside the 10 to the 9 before he's out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Mayfield to throw it. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Let's go. Interception.
First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Brought down that time by Christian Kirksey.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 46. 4 yards on the dump off at 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He was a 2nd-round pick. Many scouts thought he could have gone higher than that.
And I was one of them. Even though I don't scout for any particular team, I had a 1st-round grade on him. And frankly, I'm surprised he lasted to the 2nd round. They got a steal with this player.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago. Really, it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. On 2nd and 10, Darnold got an open man. It's a noon one. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
A field goal would get them the lead, but that's not what they're shooting for as they come up on 3rd down. To the air again, Darnold. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Browns offense trotting back on the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Hey, wahoo!
From the 25 on 2nd down, Mayfield. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Randy Gregory. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. That's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. 51 yards on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. This Jets offense heading back out there now, led by Sam Darnold. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
On 2nd and 10, Darnold. That's caught right side by Anderson. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. The Jets on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. Darnold. It's caught by Herndon. And he's got a first down as he's up to the 48. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd down and 10, Darnold. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he could break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He was brought down by Brandon Copeland.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Got an open man. He completes it to Callaway. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a first down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Call it a gain of 2 as time has run out on this 3rd quarter of play.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Baker Mayfield, as a rookie, 3 times he led the Browns back to victory in the 4th quarter. What can he do here in year number 2? A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Pistol. Right there. 54 Mike. You ain't got nothing.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And bringing it in right side here, Mayfield. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Real. 54. Hey, Charlie. Check. Watch 54.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's got Higgins over the middle. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Running with Hunt here out of the shotgun. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now, after the run by Hunt, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He gets it forward for 4, maybe 5, but the flags fly. And this one could be coming back. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Man, I got you.
Mayfield looks to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Randy Gregory able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Being chased out left. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. In a tie game fourth quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
Extra point up and through. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fresh off the pick six, it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. He is proving his worth defensively. Getting the sack here, that comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games together, isn't he? I mean, you just mentioned what he did the previous week to be named AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Continuing to play at that level.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Myles Garrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
So, Brandon, we've sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Darnold and the Jets come up 3rd and long following the sack. On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield, and he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Now I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, they had that one snipped down. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively, a backbreaker. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. Kareem Hunt, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Browns add on to their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Joseph now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. New York set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. So they decline the penalty. That seems a little odd.
I'm trying to work through it and work with them to figure out why.
Well, someone's got to be confused.
That's what I think. I'm pretty sure that the bench is saying take the penalty, and somehow in the heat of the moment, they thought they were saying decline the penalty, and that's going to work against them. They should have taken it.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? You give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking. And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
Sam Darnold leading the offense out for their next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Back to throw, Darnold. This one caught by Crowder. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Darnold completes it, and he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 10 more there and another 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Powell takes it from Darnold. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
They'll run. This is Powell. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. No gain on the play there, and they're going to need to come up with something better here on 3rd and goal. Now Darnold on 3rd and goal. Herndon hauls it in for the Jet touchdown. Chris Herndon with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point by McCrane, up and good. And the lead is trimmed down to 10. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it's finished off by a New York Jets touchdown. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. The first down carry here for Johnson. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On 2nd down, it's Hunt, and he's stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively.
Hey, alert!
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he is going to have the first down, and that is going to suck the life right out of this crowd. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout, and they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. The Browns in victory formation now as they take the knee. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Down to 1 knee goes Mayfield, and that's all she wrote.
Well, Brandon, they're getting to 2-0, and this time they're able to take a knee at the end and secure the victory.
Preseason, coach said their goal, they obviously want to win everything. He said, I think we can get off to a 3-0 start. Well, here they are looking at 2-0 right now. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And it took a big 4th quarter to do it, but bottom line, they got the job done.
Yeah, it is the bottom line, isn't it? A few anxious moments along the way, though. A few sweaty palms, not just for the team, but for their fans. As you mentioned, down going into the 4th quarter. How about the rally? How about the comeback? Getting it done on both sides of the ball. Holding them when they needed to and finding ways to get points when they had the football.
So for the Browns, it